Hey, so the bedroom is looking like an actual bedroom now. I just need to go pick up a TV or a monitor for the desk and maybe a chair, and it'll be all right. This room was actually super duper cold last night, and it turns out the heat register was turned off from the basement. So I turned that on, and it warmed up. Actually got too warm, so now I can use this to fine tune it. But I did find another draft in the house too. So with the bed out of the living room, I'm able to make it actually look like a living room again. And it's a little better. I was sitting here with my feet dangling up, and I was just feeling a draft. And if you come over here into this corner, you can see there's a draft through here. Naturally, it's not gonna wiggle for the video, but you can actually, there we go. So I grabbed my old laser gun, and I tested, and so we got 45 degrees on that outside wall. We have 49 here, and as we go up, we get 54, 59, 63. On this inside of the wall, we got 57, and it doesn't really get much colder as you go down. It's actually a little bit warmer, 58 there. The top ridge is still 58. The wall there is 54, but basically there's cold air somewhere. This is 48 in there, 45 as you go deeper. So I think what happens is it goes up this bay in the wall, and on the outside, the only opening is for the vent from the stove. And so I think maybe that is not solid ducting, and lots of cold air coming in through there. So what I'm gonna do is use the wood left over from the IT room and just build a shelf to cover up this hole, and hopefully that'll make the draft go away. I checked this return vent, there's no problems there. It actually goes back to the furnace. But I think I can just build a little shelf to stick out a little bit here, go in there, and the only hard part is bracing it on the inside, but I think I have a plan for that. So because this is just a quick and dirty, like throw it together and then deal with it later type of thing, and I'll deal with it when I do this whole room, but I just stacked up some bricks that were in here and a few pieces of wood, and kind of wedged that in there. And then this piece is just two pieces cut together. I accidentally cut one of them an inch short, but they just kind of go together and wedge underneath the windowsill and sit in there, and it sticks out pretty far, but it does what it needs to do, or I hope so. I mean, should take care of the draft for the most part, and then I can deal with it later. All right, so I've got the trim on. It looks better when you stand away from it than when you get near it. This is my first time actually doing this trim, and I didn't have any power tools. And after I smashed my thumb, I wasn't in the best of moods. But I think I just need to get a little bit of paint and a little bit of silicone, and I'll clean up some of these corners and whatnot. That one's fine, but I also can't keep white stuff white to save my goddamn life. So there's fingerprints all over this stuff. I need to wash it. But it does look significantly better. You can't really tell too much on the white sections of the wall, but you can definitely tell on the blue sections. So one of my next tasks, I need to get a shelf in the closet, get the rod hung up there, and finish up these windows. I forgot to, all this hardware, I took it over to get it sandblasted and whatnot, and then I forgot to pick it up. So I guess I'll have to pick that up on Monday or Tuesday or something. It's been too cold to do these windows, but I should, when it warms up, I'll get them done. In the meantime, I gotta finish painting this one. When I paint it, I can paint the shelf, and then this will be looking a lot better. A few days ago, I was talking to someone out here and almost fell into the ditch because I just wasn't paying attention and kind of took a step back and almost went in. It's also really hard to see these edges when you bring a car back here, so I went and headed and added these little reflector poles, and there's a couple down there to mark where the broken sections are. And so now you should be able to see it, and should be able to see it at night. You definitely couldn't see it at night at all, but so it should be a lot better now. This is the door to the IT room. When I moved in, it just had this for a latch and this lock, and I haven't looked to see if there's a key for this. I do have a pile of keys somewhere, but I didn't want to add a doorknob to it. And that turned out to be harder than I expected because this door is not built for a modern knob. And I don't have the proper tools to actually put one of these in. So it took a bit of work. I got it in. It's not perfect. It sticks a little bit because these screws here are at an angle, but I did that. If I went straight in, I'd hit the drywall or the concrete, which as we know is on foam board here, or fiberboard. So I had to go in at an angle, and these heads stick up. At some point, I'll just grab something to grind those heads off with, so they'll be flat. It sticks, but it works. I close the door, it locks, it doesn't wiggle or anything, and I may still find the key for that. Also today, I picked up a chair, so I can. And now that I have the other one done, it's time to do this one. It functions mostly well, but it gets stuck, and a couple times it didn't want to open from the inside. So I picked up a new knob. Hopefully I can just leave this part here, and I don't have to go through the hassle of the other one. I'll probably have to modify the door a little bit though. This one went a lot smoother than the other one. It came with the rectangle thing here. So the internal mechanism did not work with the old one. So to put the new one in, it came with the rectangle piece, but also came with this round piece. And to get the rectangle piece, it just ended up using the 90-degree pick tool and wedged it in between the two pieces, the two rectangle pieces, and twisted them, and they popped right off. And I was able to slap the round piece in there. So it works now, works great. I won't feel trapped in the morning when I get up and go to work. So here's a slightly uncommon tool. This is a Picaroon. I got it when I was working at the sawmill way back when I was 18 years old. And it's great because you can slam it into wood or whatever and pull it, move it around. It's great for dragging logs, great for moving stuff around. And if you need to, you can turn it around, use it as a blunt thing. But this is the handle it had on it. It was already fairly well worn when I got it. But after a couple decades of use, the head finally came off, and it's time to replace the handle. So as I was walking through the hardware store today, I happened to see this handle, picked it up, swapped the head on over, and now it's good for another 20 plus 30 years of use. So this is the shelf for the bedroom, the closet shelf for the bedroom next door. And I want to paint three sides of it, the bottom, the top, and the front edge. And rather than dealing with the paint twice, I hung it from here from these hooks. So I can paint the bottom edge, then paint one side, paint the other side. It can just hang here and dry. And then when it's all done, it'll be set. This is not an uncommon way to paint body panels for cars and stuff like that. It works well for this type of situation. I just wish it was a little bit higher, but that's okay. I can deal with that. So I'm getting better at the putty. And I don't know, mediocre on the broken glass part. I did this one without breaking the glass. This one, you can see I broke it in two. I don't have any more glass pieces. Well, I have one piece that I could cut down and it would actually fix both of these, but it actually looks like it's perfect for fixing the big giant shattered piece in the front corner of the house. So I'm gonna leave that. But basically I got the tape here to hold these flush until the putty sets. This one, this crack actually wasn't there until after I put the whole thing back together, and then I was working on this one and the wind caught it and it hit my back and cracked it. So it's kind of a bummer. I was so close to getting it done, but I chipped out this corner, both top corners. This one fell down in the grass and I couldn't find it. But I didn't throw away the broken pieces from last week. So I grabbed a piece and I chopped it down and just used a little bit of putty in the crack to fill it in. So it's okay, it's not great. But the good thing is, check out the beautiful putty job I'm doing. It's getting much better. I'm not so great at the corners, but it's definitely looking a lot better than the first one I did. So there's that. Now I'm gonna put the mechanicals back in the bottom. I forgot to get the latches when I was at work last week, so I'll pick them up tomorrow and that'll be ready. So I'm hanging the shelf in the closet. I've got the one screw in, got the level on it. I'll zap that on, and then I'll show you the next step here. It's the getting these in the right spot. So with the support in, I just plop the shelf up there and gravity's just kind of holding it in place. And then from there, I know where the ends go, so I can take the end pieces, get the screw in the corner, and then throw the level on it and get the screw further out. And do the same thing on the other side. And then everything should be at the right spot and the shelf should be nice and level, and I can plop the rod in place. All right, and so that's in. Got a couple screws on each end. They happen to have the old screw marks. I didn't cover up perfectly, so I was able to see where the studs were. But they're all in. This piece and this piece are actually just the floor trim. I just repurposed them for this, cut this little notch in. It's not a great notch. And then painted up the ends and made them all white. This board isn't as flat as I thought it was, but it still works well. And the rod's there. I finished up these windows. Basically, I'm gonna leave the tape on it until the putty gets more dry. I think I'm okay to leave these alone, so I just kind of scraped them clean from all the paint I got on the other day. And then I just need to finish, I got this window prepped, so throw some paint on it, and then I'll be good to go for a while. This room will be pretty close. I actually just met with a fella who's gonna rent it, and he happens to be a roofer, so maybe that'll work out for us.